Hey, welcome to another fanfiction. This one is called Aftermath. It's a miraculous one. It is about a couple years after they first became heroes, and it's a bit after they have defeated Hawkmoth, but Marinette is left with some issues because of the final fight. And sorry if these become a little less regular. I'm trying to do daily right now, and if I don't manage to do daily, I do two the second day. But honestly, most of them are like 500 to 1,500 words, and some even go like beyond that. Like my longest one right now is 2,400 words. And let's just say it's not easy to do that, and homework and schoolwork and visit my grandparents, because we're not currently where we live. We're in our home country, and so I'm switching between grandparents' houses every day. So I spend like most of the day in one grandparent's house, and like I sleep and like have breakfast and dinner at the other one. So yeah. Anyway, let's stop talking and get on to Aftermath. Aftermath. A few years after Hawkmoth was defeated, Marinette had issues. She was left always sad. The last battle had taken a toll on her body. She was so weak. She could barely go to school. She couldn't be active or use too much energy. She also was a lot more scared and sad. No one, not even her parents, knew what scared her. They were afraid that if she started thinking about it, her body couldn't handle the stress. She hated her new life. She couldn't even be Ladybug. She was still the guardian. She was just not able to be a hero. One day at school, it was raining outside. As the rain started to go faster, Mari thought of her fights with weather villains. She started breathing heavily. "Hey, Mari," Alia whispered. She noticed Mari panicking. Her lungs and heart were weak, and she started clutching her chest in pain. "Miss Bustier, something is wrong with Marinette," Alia yelled. Mari started getting weak. Alia helped Mari up. Adrian and Nino joined her in the front of the class. "You okay, Mari?" Adrian said worriedly. Just then, she fainted. Luckily, Adrian caught her. Adrian picked her up. "Miss Bustier, can we please take her to the nurse?" Adrian asked, still holding her tight, of course. "Of course, I'll call her parents," Miss Bustier answered. At the nurse, they received some bad news. "Her condition has gotten worse," the nurse said. "I've called an ambulance. She needs to go to the hospital," the nurse continued. Obviously, her three best friends and her parents were there. "The results are here." The doctor came in. "She's very sick. I'm sorry, but any amount of stress on her heart could be fatal. She needs a heart transplant, or she has to be comatose. Otherwise, the other option, she stays in her room and for the next few years. Not many visitors, no school, no exercise, healthy food," the doctor said. The doctor left. They all felt worried. They knew how much he loved going outside. "What are you guys gonna do?" Adrian asked her parents. He was holding Marinette's hand, and he was very worried about her. "We can't afford the surgery, but we'll keep her at home, but you guys are her best friends, and we can tell that you care for her. You three will be allowed to visit, but only you three," Sabine, her mom, answered. They all felt so bad. She really didn't deserve this, but there was one mystery they all wanted to solve. How? How did this happen? One day she was the strongest, healthiest, most friendly person ever. The next day she was sad, scared, and weak. She woke up. "Oh, Mari, are you feeling okay?" Adrian asked. "My chest hurts, but otherwise I'm fine." "What happened?" she asked, confused on how she got there. "You passed out in class. We were so worried," Adrian said softly. We have some bad news," Alia added. You're really sick, and since we can't get you the heart surgery, you won't be able to leave your house, and the people in this room will be the only who can meet you." "Tom," her dad said. "I'm sorry, sweetie." She started to cry. Adrian knew that her heart rate couldn't go so high, so he sat on the bed and hugged her. She calmed down, but was still sad. The next week she spent in the hospital with visitors every day. After that, she was finally able to go home. Adrian wanted to see her so. He wanted to see her so. He transformed. He didn't want to scare her for obvious reasons, so he knocked on the window and said, "Hey, princess, can I come in?" he asked. Chat? Of course you can. He slipped through and noticed she was sad. He sat next to her. She was weak and tired, so he helped her get tucked into bed before laying beside her. She put her hand on his chest. "Can I tell you something?" she asked, careful not to make eye contact. "Of course, anything, princess." She sat up, and so did he. She took a deep breath, and he crawled across from her. "What's up?" he asked. "Can I tell you what happened to me? I'm afraid I don't have much time, and I want to give something to make sure it doesn't get in the wrong hands," she said. He hated when she talked about it, but she knew it was true. She was not healthy. "What is it?" She took a ladybug printed box and gave it to him. "The night happened and I took many hits. That's how I became weak. Many blasts and lots of dust led to my lungs and heart getting weak. But I kept fighting." She started tearing up and he was confused. What was she talking about? "I get scared because I can no longer defend myself. And when I saw the rain, I was reminded of weather kumas. The truth is that, I'm Ladybug. Well, was Ladybug, and I need you to be the new guardian." She closed her eyes and she gave him the box. He was speechless. "M'lady?" It's all he could say. She nodded. He sat next to her and comforted her. "Clausen." Adrian? She was so happy. One of her best friends was there, and she knew she could trust him. "I'm not taking that, princess. I was going to surprise you tomorrow, but since my dad was defeated, I inherited millions and I paid the hospital. You have a surgery next week. You'll be cured." He smiled and hugged her. I don't know what to say." "Thank you. Thank you so much." She hugged him so tightly. "Don't thank me. You deserve it. One condition. When you heal, you and me better start hanging out more." He chuckled. She was so happy she kissed his cheek. "Deal. 100% deal," she said, falling asleep on his shoulders. A week later was the surgery. She was cured, so she and Chat Noir became close, and a year later got engaged. They got married shortly after. She became Marinette Agreste, and she was so happy. She was happy again. She felt safe again. She started a design company of her own, with Adrian owning the largest fashion company in Europe. She quickly got famous, and they were both successful young adults. That's it for Aftermath. I hope you enjoyed this one. In the comments, any storylines you want. And currently, there are 2 stories going on. Both Adrianette versus Lucanette, and I need people to decide which way it goes. One is called Battle for Her Love. The other is called, I forgot, A Painful Reveal. And I just need, and so far, Battle for Her Love, I think, has 1 vote for Adrianette, so far that's winning. But whatever you guys say, I'll probably do. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. It'd mean a lot if you checked out my other videos, and I'm not a like beggar or a subscriber beggar, but it would be nice and I wouldn't complain. Anyway, bye. Hope you guys enjoyed.